We'll do it live. Yes. How the chat? How Shadowhawk?
Hey, what's happening, right?
Not off tonight. I'm not off. Not off from spring.
Oh, well, you guys getting rain tonight or something?
No, just a night off.
Huh.
Not off my paycheck. Yeah. Well, that's fine. I can catch topic list tonight.
There you go.
Yeah, I can go on topic list and work on some things. I have a magnet here, magnet size that business card size that. So I'll cut out some sketch cards that size to make magnets, and do some stuff like that. Maybe. Uh, I did send the link to Dave. Hopefully he'll pop in here in a moment.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna ask you if Dave was gonna be on this week.
I believe he will be.
Yeah,
We can
I
cross our
thought he would.
fingers. Uh, Happy belated birthday to Jack Kirby. Yesterday was Jack Kirby's birthday.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I didn't see it yesterday. Noticed Glenn Fleming had said something about that on Facebook.
Mm-mm.
When I checked out my Facebook and been looking at posts on Twitter of Jack Kirby. We'll take a look at some of those. Uh, Jack Kirby said, I happen to like big girls, and Big Barter was a natural type of girl for me to draw. If you'll dig into this a little deeper in a psychological way, you'll find that short men like large women. If you'll
Hmm.
notice my wife, she's maybe an inch or two taller than I am. And that was from an interview with J. Michael Stravinsky and Larry DiTillo. I hope I got that name right. In April 13th, 1990,
Oh,
uh, on Mike Hodel's Hour 25 radio show. Uh,
well. From what I remember of Jack's wife, though, from what I've seen of her, she may have been taller than him, but she wasn't a big girl.
no, no. In fact, I have a picture of them, a nice picture of them together.
Yeah, well, she was actually a pretty good-looking lady, from what I recall.
Yeah.
I mean, must have been back in her day, anyway.
Well, Jack was kind of a dapper guy himself. Check this picture out of him in his
Oh, and look
studio.
at that. So 70s, boy.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
White pants and a black
White
turtleneck,
pants.
dude.
Yeah.
You can't get no more 70s than that,
What's
brother.
that he's leaning on? Is that a copier? Because he copied a lot of his work.
It looks like it. Look how
Yeah.
huge that thing
I know, right? It's,
is.
it's pretty big. I don't know that they've reduced much more than that. You have to be able to do large pieces.
Yeah, they're still fair. I mean, business ones, like home
Yeah.
ones, they're a lot smaller. You're just doing like home copying.
Tank Otter in the house. Hey, Tank.
I meant to ask you, Tank. So have you upgraded on the weasel scale? You went from ferret to otter.
Love that turtleneck, aka Pat in the house. Hey, maybe he's back from his travels. Uh,
Hey, there he is.
I tell you what, I don't know if he's available, but I'll send him the link. How about that on Twitter
There you go.
uh, or X
No,
now, right?
yeah, whatever. X
Yeah,
clear.
he's one artist I've been wanting to talk to, and commission for something or whatever. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, we talked to him a while back, didn't we?
yeah, we did. It's
Yeah.
been far too long. Uh, I'd like to get something done from him. I wonder if he's ever worked in the Kirby style.
Oh, I don't know.
'Cause I'm going to have one artist at least do a character or two of mine, sort of mimicking Jack Kirby as a tribute to Jack Kirby.
Creek.
Or
Oh,
do,
all
huh?
right. Hank said it's because he's up a creek.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, he's.
I thought he was just upgrading his ferret status to the highest level.
So Peter, if you have time, I'm sending you the link right now. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, you're missing out on some great draw streams. Peter from Peter A. DeLuca up in Philadelphia, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think so.
No, I think so too. I think I'm correct about that.
Yeah, we got a lot of East Coasters on there in the. But I mean, it seems comic books has always been that way. A
Glenn
lot of East.
Fleming, of course, wrote a book on Jack Kirby. Uh, Jack Kirby Personal Journey Words and Pictures also comes with a DVD of his two visits, the footage of his visits.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the only reason your disc won't play Shadowhawk is it's probably region two
It
uh,
could be, yeah.
from the UK. I'm glad we figured that out. I think it's a
I
good
hadn't even
disc.
thought about that until we were talking about it the other day, and I was like, shit, I wonder if.
But a lot of people don't realize that Jack Kirby did uh, Thundar the Barbarian. He kind of Alex Toth was supposed to, and he did
Hmm.
like character sketches and things. He took over for Alex Toth in
Yeah,
that job.
didn't Toast design the original characters, and then Kirby kind of took over or
Oh,
something?
I don't know. I don't know. Really don't know the story on that. I'd like to know more about it though. I remember
I thought
Thundar
I
the
had heard.
Barbarian.
Yeah, I thought I'd
How
heard
about
something
that? A
about that
kid's
before.
classic on VHS artwork. That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Ruby Spears put that out. Good, good stuff, man. I remember once going down to on Saturday having to do a ball game, and I was like, I'd rather stay. And yeah, I've seen them all, but I would rather see Thundar the Barbarian. I remember thinking that, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, One thing that Kirby used and was just great at was photo collage, especially in Fantastic Four, uh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
wonderful
He did
pieces like
some.
this. I'm not sure what issues that from, but just using some of that. And this was one of the probably the first vintage Fantastic Four issue I bought. Sadly, I don't have it anymore or have replaced it. It's the first appearance of Atuma there, pictured in the foreground, the villain.
Hmm.
But very nice. I bought it at Memphis Flea Market. You know,
Oh,
sellers would bring some comics, old comics and stuff, and this one really caught my eye with the photo collage, the underwater collage, um, as several Kirby books did, but I chose that one. Um, there's issue 200 of Captain America, bicentennial issue. America will die. How prescient is that nowadays? There's a young Jack Kirby, probably back in the 40s.
oh wow, yeah.
Could be back in the 30s, I guess. Uh, Apologies. Jack Kirby would have been 106 yesterday.
I was trying to remember what they said his age would have been.
Mark Steg Stegmark Boral or what? Oh well, English names. Did this Kirby tribute there with his paper and Kirby crackle and brushing forward. That's kind of nice. Yeah, he would have been 106 yesterday. I remember when he turned 100 because DC Comics had like uh,
What
that
year
on
was
all their covers.
Jack was born? What, 1917? Is that correct?
I believe 1917. I believe you are correct, sir. Look
Okay,
at
yeah.
that Doctor Doom,
So
Fantastic
he
Four
was
with the
he was around.
villain
Yeah, my
Mark,
dad would have been around the same age.
New Gods, went from Marvel to DC. It didn't quite work out for him like he wanted, but I mean, he set up a lot of their mythos. Commandy, probably the longest running of the fourth. And I don't know that this was part of Fourth World, but it ran till they canceled a bunch in 1978. But definitely sort of a Planet of the Apes homage here, right? The raft and
Oh yeah.
that in the future and Statue of Liberty. And then this was classic. When I was in fifth grade, they
Oh, dude,
had
I've got this one.
Captain America 193. I used to have it on a binder, a school binder.
Yeah. No, they've
Uh,
used that image a lot of times too. But yeah,
yeah,
I've got this actual comic.
yeah. I mean, his fist is larger than his head, because it's
Yeah,
closer, right?
it's
But yeah,
perspective. Perspective.
that's Jack Kirby, and I'm trying to see the signature of the inker there. I'm not sure. Uh, I think it's John Romita. It's definitely John Romita Senior, who
Yeah.
sadly we lost this year. King Kirby is back and greater than ever. That's when he came back to do Captain America in issue 193.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I didn't.
I didn't realize that was his triumphant return, but that's awesome that I have it.
Yeah. Uh, Carrie in the house. Hello.
Hi, Gary. Oh, hey, by the
Uh,
way, I'm calling your little hedgehog friend Spike.
oh, that's a good name. A little Alex
Carrie
Ross
said she wasn't
there
going to give him a
tribute
name, so I had to give him a name.
to Kirby. Uh,
Gents, where?
Fanta in the house. How you,
Hey,
Fanta?
old Fanta. How are you, dear?
Finally put a face to a name with Frankie B. Watched him doing an interview.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Frankie's
Oh
awesome,
yeah,
dude. He's a lot of fun.
oh yeah. He'll be joining us on the 9th, I believe. Uh,
Yeah, I think I saw the notification earlier.
mhm.
Oh, very cool.
We both kind of overslept. Well, I wasn't feeling well
Yeah,
earlier,
and I
and
I
just
was just dead from last week. That was the first time I slept like that in a couple of years.
some great Kirby pencils here of a city scene. Look at that. That's why they call him Jack the King Kirby. Yes. Amazing detail and all that, from probably memories of his childhood, the way things used to be,
Oh, sure.
kids playing ball, horse drawn carts, newsstands, food markets on the streets, just the city old brownstone buildings and laundry hanging out between the buildings. Just people going about their daily thing, the police officer there, not really directing traffic, but yelling at somebody. Uh,
Yeah, I ain't gotta yelling at somebody.
yeah. Black Lives Matter. Oh, maybe not. What, too soon?
And Carrie's telling dad jokes in the chat. What do you call a
Uh,
German with constipation? Far
uh,
from pooping.
oh, okay. Go check out Poop Man if you like that. Um, on Fund My Comic. It's an actual thing. Jack
Yes,
Kirby's
sir.
first appearance in a comic book was in Fantastic Four, where he actually drew himself into the comic book Fantastic Four number 10.
Oh,
Him and
cool.
Stan Lee with Doctor Doom taking his mask off. Can't
He'll
you
get it.
never got to see really Doom's face. You can't
No,
see
no.
his own visage in the mirror. Hey, Gable. So, yeah, we lost a creative force, the Kirby force, I call it. Uh, Here's a couple beat pieces that were done in honor of him. There you go. And another one. And the artist actually animated this one. I like this artist. He is a flaming liberal, but I
Well, as
can get beyond that. He does do good work. That is Francisco.
long as I can just look at his art and not have to talk to him, it's all good.
Yeah, Frank Francalaville Villa, something like that. um, Here's that same piece that he put the music and little digital visual there.
It's an interesting interpretation of Jack.
Kind of gave him some wild hair there, huh? The way he did it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, all that. Pretty neat visual, like a blacklight poster. And, some of his stuff was made into blacklight stuff. He created so many characters. It's, you know,
Oh yeah.
yesterday I must have been channeling my
What was
Kirby
that? I think it
force.
was Dave had that whole collection of the blacklight posters he was showing us a while back,
Yeah,
and
yeah, the
I
vintage
just saw like
70s ones. Yeah.
50% of those were Kirby.
hmm I mean, look at all these characters here. Just every one of them just iconic, over time. Some of them immediately, but Kirby and his crowd, his imagination. And that's just the new stuff, from the 60s and
Hmm.
70s. He was born August 28th, 1970, and he died February 6th. I think that's when I buried my father, not the same year, but on the February 6th, 1994. Here he is at his art desk with his pipe. Uh, he smoked a cigar, but later in life he started smoking a pipe. A little bit better on him. I was 102, ready to go at any time. 103. Uh, yeah, I'd love to get Steve Rude to do one of my characters in the Kirby style.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Uh,
cool.
his family, his grandson, his daughter, posting certain things. Here's the first appearance of the Demon, a character he created for DC Comics. Jack Kirby's startling new epic, The Origin of the Demon. That might be a good one to do, as a homage cover to Devil Flyer. They do
Oh
have
yeah.
they do have a pitchfork there. The crowd.
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll think about it. There's probably better Kirby covers out there. Uh, Lost in Wallace, in honor of uh, Kirby, was posting some of his best Kirby inspired artwork. I like
Oh,
that.
cool. Yeah.
I like that. The Thing being one of my favorite characters that he ever created, and kind of synonymous with him. And then I love the Claw there. I just love his look.
Yeah.
Uh, he's one of my favorite villains visually. Of course, Doctor Doom and Galactus. Uh, so many. That's a nice piece there. Look at that. The Thumb of Doom. Feel the power of the thumb.
Right. Cosmic power of the
Although that backhand there looks more like John Buscema, you know, kind of configuration. Kirby would have done it all square.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely a Kirby feel to some of these faces, especially Dark Side there.
Oh yeah.
And that just looks like a direct rendering from one of Kirby's Fantastic Four. That Thing there,
Yeah.
and Sue Richards for that matter. Thing
And that
Fang
Doctor.
Foom.
Yeah, that Doctor Doom as well.
Yeah, I mean, he created, characters when it was Atlas Comics before it became Marvel Comics with Fantastic Four #1. He created characters like Fing Fang Foom, and Groot has become famous, of course, through of late. There's a Doctor Doom. That's kind of nice. That straight on Doctor Doom looks straight copied from Kirby.
Hmm.
Probably that side view too. Probably the whole thing, but it's nice. The guy's done a nice job.
Hmm.
You gotta love Doctor Doom. He has that regal. So Rex, I'm all like a Zelda left out in the rain. What does that mean?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out. Maybe because you
Yeah.
didn't send him a link.
Oh, maybe so. Maybe so. That makes sense. Here's a nice, one of the nicer ones I thought with just
Holy
trying
cow.
to get through this tank. Uh, Sort of like he said, Kirby's gone. The turn back, and I always love the Thing. Thing's one of my favorites. My daughter, when she was like 4 years old, called him Rock Man. Kind of makes
Yeah.
sense, huh? Rock
Yeah.
Man. Of
Does
course, one
make
of his
sense.
first and greatest creations was Captain America back in 1940.
Yeah.
This was before we entered the war, and he's got Captain America hitting Hitler in the face. How cool is that? Triangular shield, not the round shield yet. Very patriotic. Of course, one of my favorites. I hope to own one of these in very nice shape one of these days. I think you can. I looked it up last year or so, the last couple of years on eBay, and you could get like a 5.5 graded of like Fantastic Four, which is pretty decent copy, mid grade copy. You know
Hmm.
what one would cost you, or at least a couple of years ago?
No idea. A couple grand.
$35,000.
Holy shit.
No,
For
it's
a
worth more than that.
5.5?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's just mid grade. That's not like
Yeah, exactly.
the
That's
Hulk
crazy.
here. Bruce Banner, though, on this cover has blonde hair. Have you ever noticed that?
Oh yeah. That is weird.
And Journey into Mystery, one of my favorite Kirby covers. I always like that, for a major character being introduced. Fighting the
Hmm.
Rock Men of Saturn, or Stone Men. Actually, they were called Stone Men. Stone Men of Saturn. But very thing like characters, monsters. He did a lot of that in the early days with Steve Ditko and Atlas. That's another one I'd love to own. Journey into Mystery '83. I don't know anybody that wouldn't, right? Bill Reinhold posted some stuff of Kirby's great design. Some of it's just mind blowing. I know it's small on your phone, whole cityscapes and just amazing stuff. 2-page spreads. He definitely inspired the story of Devil Flyer. Uh, you know, had 2-page spreads.
Oh,
Devil Flyer, just the machinery there with the Psycho Man. Psycho Man, I remember probably the first Psycho Man that I ever saw that came out of Fantastic Four. He was a later creation of Kirby for Fantastic Four.
hmm.
Was probably in Micronauts. Uh, you know,
Yeah, I think that's the first place I saw him too.
yeah. Look at that, man. Some of this stuff was done for like portfolio that he did. Some of it just personal, I think. But wow, I wonder what his mechanical expertise was, or was this just all made up? Did he ever work on small engines or know about? I mean, men back then kind of knew how to work on cars and stuff. At least tinker around, right?
Well, what did I mean,
He
I'm
was
not
in
aware, but what did Jack do while he was in the army? He may very well have been a
right.
mechanic in the army.
Yeah. Look at the sense of scale here, man. Could the Thing go up against the Hulk? Sure. Would he beat him? No, but he's pretty strong. That
No, but he
thing's got to,
gives him a pretty good run.
yeah, that thing's got to weigh tons there. He's not a pushover. I say shrink him down, put him in, somehow inject him maybe through the ear canal or some place like that to go down his throat, and then give him gallstones.
There you go.
Because I mean, basically, the thing is a stone, right? It's made out of
Yeah,
stone.
he just being inside, just beating the crap out of Hulk's gallbladder.
Look at that Jack Kirby, Mike Royer. I didn't even know who Mike Royer was till I bought a comic from him and I started looking at some Kirby stuff. And Mike inked his stuff over at Marvel and DC, a lot of it. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I mean, he's a name that a lot of people don't know, but he inked a lot of Jack Kirby, Mike Royer,
Yeah, I know
Universal
the name.
Green Monitor. I actually have a comic book from his collection, and it has all the Hanna-Barbera characters in it.
Oh,
I
cool.
bought it before I knew who Mike was. I knew it was from his collection, and it was in great shape, and I just thought it would be pretty cool to have, you know, something from an artist like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
With some provenance to it. It was about $40 when I bought it.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, especially for some of that Hanna Barbera goodness. In 1979, he was commissioned to draw a comic book adaptation of The Black Hole.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, and he did 2001 as well. Also had a series, and out of that jumped um, a character called Machine Man, one of my favorite characters. His old Jack at his drawing desk. He was a righty, right hand. Not very many left-handed artists out there that I know of. And I know Kirby's style was off-putting to a lot of people. I when Kirby did some of the Avengers covers, I was like, "Oh man, I would like to see more George Perez." But I'm glad he did the covers that he did. now looking back on it. And I did enjoy them. They were good. I just at the time I didn't know who Kirby was, and it's a famous shot he drew of himself at an artist's desk with all his characters or some of them. There's no way you could put all of them on there. And the Beast jumping off his chair there, pre furry Beast. I like that
Mhm.
Ant Man not only rode one ant, but like in this, he straddles two of them. He's got one under each foot.
Yep, yep.
That was kind of an early on thing. Of course, Spider Man there. They need to do a Spider Man slinky. That'd probably go over good. I believe I have this one in my collection. Devil Fly, not Devil Flyer. Yes, I have that too. Devil Dinosaur, number one. I probably saw this stuff and was like, not for me. Eternals, number one. I have two copies of that. Should have saw that when the movie came out. Uh, Sandman. There's actually two variants in this of this Shadowhawk. We've talked about it before, where this is the normal blue background, but there was some that came out magenta, and the magenta background to Sandman number one's actually worth, you know, some nice money if you have it in good shape. It was just like kind of like a printing error, but it's looked at as like a different version. Uh, we didn't think about it, 40 years ago. We didn't think about stuff like that. I think I've seen one of the magenta. Might even have had it and sold it in my comic shop. Miracle Man there, Mister Miracle, not Miracle Man. Why am I calling him Miracle Man? That's when you say, "How was work today?" By the way, work was work. Nothing really. Okay, moving on. Creating some of the greatest villains of all time, Kang, the Conqueror. Although I'm sure that's not. Is that Kirby artwork? Not sure about that. It's supposed to be. Of course, the Demon Etrigan. The. I mean, the Celestials and the Eternals. I mean, what a story. That's just some Kirby imagery there, man. Galactus, of course, one of my favorite. Uh, I mean, it just conscious expanding characters on something on a scale. I think I have this. This is a small portion, just the mid portion of a cover that they did on the Kirby Chronicle. I think it's called the Kirby Chronicle. Uh, it's got a lot more characters on it than that. And actually, I think Stan Lee's on the same cover with other Kirby characters around them. Modoc, one of your favorites. And Black Panther actually showing his mouth and lips, his chin. Early on, that was it. He didn't have a full face mask. My son had one of the issues of Eternals. Cool, take it away from him and sell it. It's worth some money. Some great Kirby action panels with the Leaper, Captain America and the Leaper, Bat Rock, who actually made it into the Marvel movies. Bat Rock the Leaper, look at that. Epic. Epic stuff. Yeah, and the pinups, man. In Fantastic Four, you do a lot of pinups. I actually had a production piece to, I think, to this one. I had several of the Fantastic Four pinups. Uh, I sold most of them, if not all of them. Thor 150 with Hela and Loki back in the background. Had a long run on Thor. Did some great covers on Thor. Of course, I have all the new gods in a giant volume. This is another example of his collage space partial photo cover there. New Gods #1. Good old Google Kirby served in World War II, called for the European Theater of Operations, United States Army. Yep. He drew while he was on the battlefield. And would send certain things back to my profile. I'm on Explore. How did I do that? I guess I backed up. Guess I backed up. All right. Let's go up here then. I had not seen. Oh yeah. Um, he was in episode as a police uh, sketch artist on an episode of the of Incredible Hulk as well. I forgot that. Um, here we go, Carrie. Yes, he worked with Joe Simon. I actually have a Joe Simon letter uh, with a little remark drawing of a hero. There's Kirby in uniform. Uh, One at his artist desk when he was later in life, and here's another there holding a cigar. And Captain America #1 again. I mean, look at the Silver Surfer and the hand of Galactus there. 4 pages of power. Stuff you just don't see, cosmic goodness you just don't see in everyday life. If you didn't like that as a kid, you just weren't seeing the right stuff. It's like, wow, mind blowing. Everybody said that his stuff just kind of leapt off the page. Power, had power behind it. Saw a photo Kirby in uniform and group photo. Didn't know he did Captain America because of Hitler. Yeah, well, or that his father was Jewish. Yeah, they were Jewish. He created Captain America along with Joe Simon. That was probably their, one of they're probably the biggest early success of a character. It was, through the years as the war ended and uh, uh, the superhero sort of genre sort of waned. Uh, he and Joe Simon went through some hard times just trying to make a living in comics. Here's Roz Kirby. Jack Kirby created the romance comic along with Joe Simon. They were the ones that first did the first romance comic, created whole genres, and they were quite popular at one time. There's a picture of him when he was in a camp, and I believe that says Arkansas on his shirt. Camp Joseph something, I believe, in Arkansas. So he may have been in Arkansas, where I live. That's pretty neat. I just saw this earlier this year with this particular picture. That is his wife Roz there. She kind of took over the convention circuit after Jack Kirby died. You know, she went on the convention circuit as well. Was always greeted with love by the fans. Now, why does that come up when I click on that? That's strange. Must be a link or something. I don't know what that is. It's kind of. Oh, okay. Hmm. That's strange. Love to blow up that image of he's standing next to the Thing, a gentleman in a Thing suit. All right, what is this? Am I in the Twilight Zone here? Maybe. Uh, that's why they call him Jack the King Kirby. Stuff like this. What is this? No, no thanks. Don't need an electrician. Little pop up there. Yeah, that's probably that other artist, his inspiration for that side profile right there. Straight out Fantastic Four. Doctor Doom, Galactus, the World Eater. Can't wait till they get a good movie with him in it. Shadow has went dark on me. Let's see. Yeah, superpowers. He did superpowers too, which was in a whole toy line. You know, became a whole toy line for DC Comics in the mid '80s. There he is, Doctor Fate picture, probably straight out of that. His one hand looks a little wonky. Sometimes one of the Fantastic Four issues had uh, he had put the thumb on the wrong side of the Rudy Richards hand. It happens, and it actually got past the editors and was published. Uh, no, I don't think his kids followed in his footsteps. Here's a shot of not uh, at Kirby at his artist desk. I'm not sure if I've seen before with white hair. So whoever colored that, I don't know. Pretty wild though. Big Barda, Orion there, Calabac, Mr. Miracle. Not sure about the other characters. So he's got some other characters in there. Some of his fourth world stuff. Here's another good shot of him and Roz together. Early on in the late 50s, Roz Kirby is actually credited in several Challengers of the Unknown as inking, over Jack Kirby. She actually inked some of his early DC work. Get it out, and she's pretty decent, actually. Pretty decent inker. Here's our Alter Ego. That is the magazine that Roy Thomas puts out. If you have not checked out Alter Ego, it's one of the better magazines on comics. Really like it. There's a superpowers thing, miniseries that shakes the cosmos. Superpowers by Jack Kirby. The new DC. There's no stopping us now. Well, all done by Jack Kirby. Pretty wild. Joker and Penguin and Batman and the early '80s Brainiac and Lex Luthor. Not sure about the Molten creature back there, who that would be. I need to get that just to enjoy a series, of like Kirby's really pretty wild style. Superpowers would be a great way if you appreciate just exaggerated form and whatnot. To it would actually be pretty nice. Uh, oops, blow that up. There we go. Bear shirt, Kirby working on that double panel there. Looks like he's working in ink, colored inks there. And there it is, all put together. No thanks. I see a face there off to the right. He used his mind, you know, for exaggeration. Here's one of his early Atlas monsters. I might even have this book. I'm not sure. It'd be like a Tales to Astonish by Atlas Comics, which was Marvel Comics before Marvel became Marvel. But he would do creatures like that. That's what was popular. A lot of people say that he created the here's a Black Panther a double page spread he did for his run on Black Panther in the 70s. Um, some say that on Fantastic Four #1, he was they were kind of hedging their bets and putting the Thing in there as monsters were popular, putting a monster in the super group. So I would say, yeah, that's probably worked out pretty well. A lot of the characters that would later become popular in Marvel were actually have prototype characters, early uh, uh, prototype characters of. I have a Tales to Astonish from the Bill Black collection, that comic that he bought off the stands when he was a kid. Publisher of AC Comics. It has a prototype of the Watcher, one of my favorite cosmic characters that was introduced in Fantastic Four #13. I have a Fantastic Four #13. Love that issue. First read that, and that was the only one that had Steve Ditko inks. The cover to Fantastic Four 14 had Steve Ditko inks. I loved Steve Ditko over Kirby. Here's a Mr. Miracle #7. I have a bunch of the Mr. Miracles. Not all of them, but I have a bunch of them. Kind of a fun run. I have all the material in they all the Fourth World. They have all that reproduced in a volume. Here's an interior shot from that issue. Couple interior pages. Young Scott Free. That was Mr. Miracle. That was his real name. Scott Free. Little. A lot of people say that Kirby's writing wasn't, that it was better when Stan Lee was writing and he was just drawing. He went over to DC and look at those 70s not eyebrows, but sideburns. The way he drew them. He had to uh Here's Mike Manley, a picture of him when he was younger with Jack Kirby. Definitely 70s. Check out that. It's 70s where he's wearing sneakers. And Jack's got like, all dressed to the hilt and he's wearing sneakers. Wow. He wasn't a stranger to animation either. He was a fill-in artist for the 30s Popeye. Uh, and did a couple of Scooby Doo's in the '70s. Also had a run on the Fantastic Four in the late '70s. That was on TV, and then also Thunder the Barbarian that we looked at. Here's the first appearance of Groot. He just started out as a monster for Marvel Atlas Comics, and this was his first appearance for a long time in the early '60s. Um, before he made a reoccurrence along with a lot of the Atlas monsters in Incredible Hulk, King Size Annual number 5, I believe. I do have one of those. That's the second appearance of Groot. So if you're going to get an early appearance of Groot, that's a good one to get. It's probably went up in price, but it's probably not too bad. Um, Tales of Astonished number 13, that was an early one. I challenged Groot, the monster from Planet X. Behold, I am Groot, the invincible, who dares to defy me. So he actually did speak, and he didn't just say, I am Groot all the time. I defy you, Groot. I shall destroy you before midnight. It's like a tree monster. Iconic work. How many times is that? I probably have a sticker or a magnet of that same pose. Bullseye. Now, this was done for, I believe, Harvey Comics. I'm not sure about that. They did some self publishing, I think. Stunt Man. This is some of the '50s stuff here. Bullseye was very nice Western that they worked on. Joe Simon. You worked on what was popular. They made romance popular and worked on a lot of romance. Westerns, of course, were popular. Superhero genre. They were always trying to return that, make a return of that. It didn't take off. This is 1955. It says up there. 10 cents. Look at that mosaic and everything. And I do own a copy of this, minus the torn 12 cent there. Tales to Astonish, number 35. First appearance of Ant-Man in his costume. One of my favorite Jack Kirby covers of all time. Uh, it says the return of Ant-Man because his first appearance in issue, I believe 27, was just Henry Pym, the scientist, not in costume, but Ant-Man was one of Marvel's early superheroes, and of course, founding a member of the Avengers. But yeah, just the huge Kirby like hands and the big gun and looking up. Just first time I saw this cover was in the 1976 Avengers Index, and I just fell in love with it. It's you know, I couldn't really get mine graded. It's in great shape, but it's some people did some amateur restoration in the bottom right hand color of it, added a little yellow or gray there, and a little had lost some of its surface luster, and they kind of tried to fill that in. It would have been better to leave it alone. Um, but yeah, I only paid. I bought it from Elsie, good friend of mine, and for $100. Took me a long time to pay him that $100 too, but I said I'm going to lock it in. I'm going to buy it. $100. Julian Kirby, granddaughter of Jack Kirby, dropped these images yesterday. This one's kind of a little pixelated. Didn't quite get that right. Him there standing above his work there. Uh, Look at the scale of that page. Fairly big page. I mean, he was used to working on big. If you look at the Golden Age, and this isn't even as big as it gets, but used to work on uh, fairly large pieces. There's a nice marry of images. That's pretty cool. Sorry, next year we will be right on time on his birthday. I'll make sure that Jeremy, Kirby's grandson, dropping a picture of him and his grandfather there at their Thousand Oaks resident out there in California. Uh, they moved out there from New York. Uh, you know, was first based in New York for a long time and eventually went to California. Um, Chadwick Boseman, that he actually passed on Jack Kirby's birthday 3 years ago. So it's the third anniversary of his death. Um, Played back Black Panther in the Black Panther movie and one of the Avengers movies, I think, before he passed. Of course, I have the second appearance of Black Panther the next issue after this, but I don't have his first appearance. That's a little pricey. Here's the first appearance of Black Panther in the comics, Fantastic Four, number 52. So if you have that book in any kind of shape, you are fortunate indeed. Some very, very early Jeremy also dropped uh, some never before seen doodles. Although I've seen this one, I don't know. He says never before. Very early, you can see Jack Krutzberg, uh, his name there. He used a lot of pseudonyms too, a lot of false names in the publishing. I suppose you know that you're annoying us. He's looking the burglars are looking back at the security guard there or the police. Early uh, doodles, drawings done by Jack Kirby. Amazing any of that stuff survives, considering how old it is. And some of his stuff, of course, have been, inspired many, many toys. Look at that thing there. So cool. That looks like a Jack Kirby pose. And there's an index with there is an index with this picture on the cover of Jack Kirby. I have it in my collection. It gives you a full rundown of all of Jack Kirby's work. So if you want to, you know, find out what Jack Kirby did, there's an index book out there. This was turned into a book that I bought when it first came out. Very cool. He's alive.
I've been here.
And Texas Dave never showed up.
No, no, too bad. Sorry, man. I'm wiped out again. Fucking work is
Yeah, you
murdering
must
me.
be.
My
Who's murdering you? Oh, you're the job. Yeah.
work.
Did I hear a sign of life from Shadowhawk? Yes, you did. He is alive. He's alive but wasted.
I don't know about that.
So what? Oh, okay. Well, you'll get that way. Maybe, perhaps, maybe not. I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Too tired.
Yeah, when you're tired, you're tired. Your body tired. Um, how's your other knee? You said it was kind of migrating to your other knee. Both your knees are hurting now. I think you said
Oh
yesterday.
no, I don't think I got to tell you yesterday. Yeah, I had a big old chunk of machinery dropped on my good knee yesterday. As a matter of fact, I got
Oh
real lucky. It
crap!
didn't. Yeah, I got real lucky. It didn't like cut me real bad. It could have been.
Yeah,
It could have been much worse. Yeah,
yeah.
it was a
How did that
glancing
happen?
blow. Well, we're taking apart this big safety shield on some machinery that we got to work on,
Uh,
and whoever had taken it apart last time didn't put the screws into the top corner of the piece I was working on. So I started at the bottom and then worked my way up to the top so we can grab a forklift and just gently move it over and put it where we have
uh,
to put it. Had the fork place in place, had the strap on there and everything. Uh, did not realize that the top was unsecured, so as soon as I got the last turn on the bottom bolt in the one corner, the whole thing dropped about a foot before the strap that was connecting it to the forklift stopped its descent, and it
right.
came down and clipped me right across the knee, and could have easily just
Ooch.
probably sheared my leg off if it would have hit right, but luckily, it was just a glancing blow of there.
Oh
I
God.
thought I was going to be all bruised up and stuff, but it was just a nice scratch.
A lot of weight with that clipped
It
your
was
knee.
probably about 500-600 pounds. Something like
Damn, son.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, I was lucky I had it attached to that strap on the forklift, or it could have gone really badly.
You know, Shadowhawk, if you ever need a day off, you have but to ask. You don't have to hurt yourself to call in.
Uh,
Just
uh,
joking with
not like that. Huh?
you. What?
Uh, if I'd have known that was going to happen, then maybe I would have called off. I had no way
Yeah,
of knowing.
right. No, I meant call in, not to work, but call in. You want a day off from the 4 o'clock shadow? Just let me know. No need to hurt yourself to get a day off.
No, not hurting myself doing the shadow.
Here's Shadowhawk just kicking. There you go. Just kick that multi-ton thing off your leg. Just bonk. Yeah, I'm still looking at Jack Kirby stuff. There's so much, right? He was one of the most prolific, and of course, one of the things he's most known for, Kirby Crackle, what they call Kirby Crackle. Love Kirby Crackle. Say that 10 times. I got the joke, Rex. It was a little funny.
There you
I'm always here to try and make you spew, but I never know when you have water in your mouth. I love this character. This character is off the
go.
chain. Another sort of like Hopper like character, magenta colored. Look at that.
Oh wow, yeah,
Man, what a two-page spread, man. That's straight out of Jimmy Olsen, Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen.
yeah, that's wild.
There's a three-fingered, two-toed character. Dang, man. Some of the stuff he came up with just, it's just awesome. I would love to see a universe where Jack Kirby was not drawing, and to see how comics would be changed. I bet they would be altered extremely.
Oh,
Hell,
I
they might have
imagine.
even died out, you know,
Never know. Yeah.
without Kirby and him being so fast. I mean, look at that stuff. The thing that screams, my face, it took my face. Look, look. Great dialogue, man.
Well,
Very
also, I mean,
looking very Phantom of the Opera, isn't it? The
yeah.
sparse hair, the upturned nose. If you think about it, the Morbius, the Gil Kane Morbius upturned nose,
Mm.
that's very Phantom of the Opera like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's one of the things I always liked about him. Gives you that kind of alien look to the face, kind of.
Mhm. Oh, Black. I mean, Jack Kirby did horror. He did a lot of horror comics uh, back in the 50s when horror was black. It was Black Cat, wasn't it? The title Black Cat. He did a bunch.
Mm.
Those characters, though, look at those bug like, you know, something like that would go great in Micronauts. He was just a beast. Had quite the imagination.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes, sir.
that's such an understatement.
Yeah.
You want to see genius and work? There it is. That's genius. That's what genius looks like.
Well,
uh, gonna make myself snort.
it,
Oh man.
it, yeah. It's not his fault fashion was what it was back.
No, you can't blame him for the fashion. No, he probably looked pretty dapper, back in the day.
Hmm.
Now he suffered from some inkers. Here's an early Avengers that he did. There's not much to that. Let's see who Paul Reinman inked this one, and
Wow.
that
Yeah.
was this is from Avengers #2 splash page with the Space Phantom making his first appearance. Notice that the thing had three toes. Three toes. Kirby would often draw the characters
You mean the
differently.
Hulk?
The Hulk, yeah. What did I say?
He said the thing.
The thing. Okay, I must have had the
That's all
thing on my mind.
right.
The thing.
You had the thing on your brain. There
Don't you wake up and contradict me, Mister.
you go. All right. Well, since you're giving me the night off anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take off and
Yeah.
go rest a little bit before I gotta make dinner for the girls.
Yeah, I mean, I had the night off, Shadowhawk. I was thinking the same thing that we call this one early. Didn't know, if Dave came in, and speak. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I think I'm going to change the title since Dave didn't show up. I'm going to say "Happy Belated Jack Kirby" because I talked about Jack Kirby the whole time,
that's true. Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah,
Well, maybe we'll get Dave tomorrow then, because he did say Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
yeah. Maybe he's had a friend in. I don't know how long. I don't know. I hope he's feeling okay. Dave's
Yeah.
usually pretty prompt, as you know. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But hell the
Yeah.
chat. Thanks for coming in. Keep collecting, and yeah, we'll catch you later. I've got the night off, so woohoo! I'll probably be on topic list later at 8 o'clock my time, Central, I guess, 9 Eastern. I'll do that. It'll be nice to get over there with Jason and Luke and all the crew and do some drawing. And might do a stream later. I'm going to try and get some stuff cleaned up around here, Shadowhawk. Laundry going, maybe cook a little, clean up a little, maybe just
Sounds like
relax
a
and
plan,
watch
buddy.
TV.
All
Take
right.
the
Well,
night.
I'll be looking for you later. I'm gonna like I said, take a little nap and then get up,
Yeah,
make dinner for the girls. So I'll be around later, and nothing else. I'll catch you in topicless chat or something.
absolutely.
All
Hell of a
right,
chat.
everybody. Thanks.
LCG.
Sorry, sorry I was so useless today. Hopefully it'll be
Well,
better tomorrow.
nothing new.
Hello.